Alrighty, so I've been enjoying the new Matchmaker, and as said in the title, new Matchmaker, same old shite. What do we ask ourselves has changed in the game since they went all experimental on the EU server? I mean, God forbid they would go experimental on the RU server, the holy cow. So they're buggering around with Matchmaker again, aren't they? And do you know what? Like I said in the title, nothing has changed whatsoever. And the reason nothing has changed has nothing to do with the Matchmaker, and it has everything to do with 5.5 and looking backwards at that and what they did to the tech trees, which was to destroy them, and effectively the premium tanks coming into the game which everyone can buy, and just the whole meta of the game just got screwed up large style, and it hasn't recovered. Since 5.5 we now have a thing called Noob Protect, which is actually what went on there when I hit the tiger in the front. That's called Noob Protect. You shoot something in the front, it bounces. It's not RNG, boys and girls, it is Noob Protect. Wargaming may deny it. If you're a Unicorn player, if you're playing in a clan which is discriminated against by Wargaming, because believe me, that's something else they do, they pick the premium clans, they bottom tier us, they put Noob Protect on, they don't allow us to win in platoon, like basically it's a farce of the highest bloody order. And then here we are trying to play a tech tree tank and do our best with a team, and game after game after game, if I look at my teams, I'm bottom tier, and everyone in the bloody team is on 43%, 44%, 47%, 49%, and more telling than that is their average damage, which is ridiculous. You're not even safe at tier 7 anymore. Used to be you're safe tier 7, tier 8 and upwards. Now they've all moved up. These precious new players that Wargaming want so badly have moved up. They go through the lower tiers like a dose of the claps in a bloody brothel. They get to something like tier 7. They think they're fucking god, and then they're shit. They haven't learnt the game. Blitz requires 4K games minimum to learn the game. Okay, you're not going to get the game in 200 games playing bots or anything else. You're going to have to learn the hard way. The hard way is to grind tech trees. The hard way is to get seal clubbed by better players and to learn. Seal clubbing, by the way, is the biggest load of bullshit of an excuse I have ever heard for manipulating a game. What a load of crap. It used to be the way people bloody learn. When I started playing this game, I did lower tiers and I got clubbed. But I didn't get clubbed, I got killed by better players, and I learned from it, and I continued up the tiers, not thinking I'm some sort of bloody god who will push all before me at higher tiers. I learned. And I wasn't a mouthy twat either, because I didn't think that I was a god with a 75% win rate after 200 games. It just didn't happen. And I'm getting crap like this in chat, and I'm being really salty now on my YouTube channel. It's my fucking channel. But at the end of the day, I'm having to put up with this as well. Like, just people who have got no education in the game because they haven't been educated. I've not been mouthy in chat. I've just wrote, I'm driving a TD. I'm driving a freaking TD. What do you want? Should I have gone around the waterfall, or driven into the middle of the map, or died like the rest of the useless tossers on this team? No, not really. I'm actually going to play the tank properly. That's because I have learnt to play tank destroyers. That's kind of how it goes. Do you know what I mean? So Wargaming's strategy, and there's other videos on this, they're premiuming up, if that's even a description, every single tier. Look at the offers, boys and girls, you are getting every time you now go on game. buy this, buy that, buy the other. It used to be a premium tank, came out once every 3 months, if that, and it was something special if you bought one and you saved up for it and all the rest of it. And for all of that, most of them, pre-Drac, pre-Helsing, were pretty balanced and this, that and the other. And now we've got the bloody Smasher, and don't get me started on the Smasher, the ultimate in pay-to-play. And we're going to have the Italian auto-loading tanks, all premiums, all this good stuff. We're going to have auto-loaders that auto-load, but they don't auto-load anymore, do they, boys and girls? They've basically got a shell in the clip pretty much the whole time. So what's that going to do when you're trying to play a J-Panther at this tier? Well, you're going to be screwed, aren't you? I mean, you're literally going to be screwed. If you're not paying to play, your win rate is going to go through the bomb. So all of this would possibly be okay. It may possibly be okay if, when you get in your tier 7 tech tree tank, you got a fair fight. And you didn't have twats like this Black Prince carrying on in chat. I have no idea what his malfunction is. You had a fair chance. And when I say a fair chance, let's go back to Matchmaker. We can't undo 5.5. It can't be done. The game, in my opinion, was pretty much ruined at that point. If it's going to be rolled back, it's going to take a very, very long time to roll back. So at least make Matchmaker level. And what I'm talking about when I say make Matchmaker level is when you look at both teams and you look at the win rates and the damage at the end of the game, if the team on the right has got players that have got an average damage of about 700, 800 upwards and a win rate of around 49 to 53%, and they all have that, they are going to win. Because the team I'm going to have on the left is going to be white. It's going to be 43, it's going to be 44, it's going to be 46. The average damage is going to be 400, 300, 200. It shouldn't be in tier 7. How hard is that wargaming to do? And how hard is that to level up? How hard is it to filter out fail platoons? Like, people at tier 7, I've played games today whereby I've had 2 people in platoon, and it's their right to platoon, don't get me wrong, driving M6 EXP, let's use that as an example because it was an event tank. They got given it. 42% and 43% players, average damage 400 and 520 or something. They're allowed to platoon. They are allowed to platoon tier 6 and 7. That team that they get dropped into, unless someone pulls out something exceptional, I mean properly exceptional, you know, like the legendary carry, is going to lose. It's a fail toon. Fail toons have not come out the game. Well, so whatever the fuck they've done with Matchmaker, they haven't dealt with that, have they? Military Honour is a bloody farce, let's be honest about that as well. Let's have a look at Military Honour. The amount of players trucking around, absolutely untrustworthy players with shitty damage and AFK rates off the fucking scale who are still playing, and I've had them in my teams, is unreal. On top of that, you've got the fucking AFKs. I mean, how many of those do you get, boys and girls, average in a game? I mean, I seem to have one on every bloody team I play at the moment. They've not been weeded out the game. So what has changed? What wargaming? What has changed with your legendary new Matchmaker? Perhaps, I mean, this is a random thought. For once in your bloody lives, because we all pretty much spend money on this game. I used to. I actually let my premium count expire and I'm playing off tokens because I'm so pissed off. Perhaps you would like to be transparent. You know, rather than veil this all in mystery, what have you actually done? Once you've buggered around with all us people on the EU server, leaving the Russians alone because they're bloody special, what have you actually done? Because it seems to me you've done chuff all. You know, as per bloody usual. I play this game at the moment and it's so infected with noobs, and I mean infected, it's like a plague. Maybe it's a microcosm of society. Maybe it's not wargaming's fault. I honestly feel that I'm playing a different game to everyone else. That's the best way I can describe it. I go out in my TD, and a TD is a great tank for watching games in. I'm not talking cabinet, I'm talking about watching gameplay. When you sit in a TD, you watch gameplay, like in that game where the whole team yellowed left and got wiped out and made that Cromwell look good, even though he isn't. You sit there sometimes and you go, I'm playing a different game. I'm thinking about this game differently to everyone else because I've got 42,500 games, and that's not arrogance. I know how to play a TD, I know how to play the game, and I'm just sat there going, I'm playing a different game to these people. What are they doing? Now, I understand that people play games for different reasons, but fundamentally people play games to have fun, don't they? And at the end of the day, if you're playing a game that is loaded, and I mean loaded and unfair, what is the fun in that? I mean, the frustration with wargaming is they've got this amazing product. It's an amazing product. Blitz, don't get me wrong, is an amazing game. That's why I play it. It is probably the best game I've ever played, certainly on tablet, probably in my life. I love the bloody game. The product is amazing. The maps are improving. They do good stuff. But at the end of the day, they can't get this fundamental right. And it's beyond me, because people have been going on about this and on about this and on about this and on about this. The contributors, of which I am not one, as you can tell, I am not Wargaming's puppet, have been saying, why don't you educate the player base? Like, rather than let the little shits have a tier 8 tank after 120 games, why don't you, I don't know, bloody educate them? Why don't you make them stay in the lower tiers until they know what they're doing? Oh, well, yes, but then we'll lose new players. Well, so what? I mean, to be absolutely honest, Wargaming's business model is basically, I get they want to make growth, I get that, but like all companies, what they do is they shag their existing clients. They shag them. And the strangest thing about it all is that the existing client base, what's left of it, used to spend a lot of money in this game, and they used to keep it afloat, basically. We kept the bloody game afloat whilst the new players came and went, and, you know, assuming, you know, it's like the modern world, isn't it? You know, they've all got attention deficit disorder, so they play 3 games in Blitz, and oh, it's all a bit too hard, and oh dear, we don't know what we're doing. Oh shit, that was a bit hard, right? I'll go play bloody Tetris. You know, I get told to play Tetris a lot. Well, do you do you want those people? Because your product is complex, right? This is really quite simple. You have a complex product. It's not Pug B, right? It's not Fortnite. It's a complex game. You've got a limited client base anyway, because it's people who are interested in tanks. Duh. That's not exactly a huge percentage of the world's population, is it now? So why don't the ones who are interested and have taken the time to actually get good, why don't you give them a fair crack? There's a good idea. Repeat business. They'll carry on putting money into the game, and your servers won't be dropping like a bloody stone like they are at the moment since 5.5. 5.5 just shagged the game. How many players did you lose? You got greedy. You wanted all those new players, and they never materialised, and yet you still, because you're so dumb, my God, you're a dumb bunch of idiots, you still persist. You still persist with this strategy. And, you know, maybe it's grab a quick buck. Maybe, check this one out, conspiracy theory. Maybe it is that Blitz is dying, and Wargaming are basically like, right, let's just take every red cent that we can make before giving it up. Let's put a premium on every week and get people to waste their cash on it before we fold the whole thing. Actually, I don't think that is what they're doing, but I mean, they're doing a bloody good job at shagging it up, aren't they? What to say? Well, I've probably said most of it, haven't I? So anyway, I've played my TD. This second game, I suppose I put it on because you want to play a TD as a TD. And I've had to YOLO, I've had to Karen, I've had to do my usual stuff, and it's just getting a bit tiring. I'm not giving the game up, I just wanted to put it all out there because it's about time I did. Alright, see ya, bye.